Hello everyone, this is Gary Nicholson for sailingweather.co.uk and weatherweb.net, and this is your sailing weekend and week ahead outlook. Now the chart for Friday shows high pressure away towards the western side of the British Isles, area of low pressure towards the northeast and a weak front making its way southwards. Most regions are dry. A few spits and spots of light rain may affect some of the eastern coasts, but on the whole many of you are likely to stay dry, if fairly cloudy across northern regions, the best of any sunshine probably towards the south in the morning. Now your wind speeds for Friday in the English Channel are around northeasterlies at around a force 4 to a force 5 in mid-channel, so just be prepared for the strengthening winds if you go a bit more offshore. Out towards the Dover Strait as well may locally be towards a force 5, but in shelter towards the southeastern corner of England around the coast of East Anglia, a bit more variable, typically northerly or a bit more northwesterly towards the north of Norfolk, and here nearer to a force 4, locally maybe as low as a force 3. Across the southwest and the Irish Sea, typically at north to northwesterlies at around a force 4 in the southwestern approaches, a bit more northwesterly as I said across the central parts of the Irish Sea at around a force 4 to in shelter nearer to a force 3. Strongest winds though are across Scotland, Northern Ireland, here typically at west or northwesterlies at around a force 4 or locally towards further towards the north, getting towards a force 5, or in the northern and western Isles much nearer towards a force 6 or locally a force 7. Saturday looks like this then, with low pressure across the near continent, and we've got a cool northeasterly breeze. It's producing quite a lot of clouds. I think dull conditions across many of these eastern and southeastern coastal regions during the day. A few spits and spots of drizzle, but most places staying dry. The best of the brightness out towards the west and the northwest, with high pressure centred towards the western side of Ireland. Now Saturday's winds then down the east coast could be quite a fresh breeze during the course of the day, a strong northerly flow, and wind speeds at around a force 5 to a force 6 are probably quite common down some of these eastern coastal regions, nearer to a force 5 in the Dover Strait and the eastern side of the English Channel, and the further west you are and the more sheltered you are, the nearer you're likely to be to seeing a force 4. I think a mix between a force 4 or a force 5 offshore in the Irish Sea, again typically from the north. Out around Scotland, lighter winds than during Friday, quite variable around northerlies at around a force 3 around the inner isles of western Scotland. High pressure resides across the south of the country during Sunday, most places dry and bright with some sunshine and not feeling too bad with the wind speeds pretty light, but locally towards the far southeast, feeling a bit cooler and a bit more cloud may again just plague some of these southeastern regions, although gradually should try and break up as the day goes on. Towards the north we've got fronts passing the north of Scotland, and here with some thicker cloud bringing some outbreaks of rain to the northern and western Isles during the day. The winds ease down across eastern counties during Sunday. Still quite a strong northeasterly flow though through the English Channel across the Dover Strait, around a force 5 to perhaps a force 6, still in the Dover Strait during Sunday daytime. Again, it's out towards the west where you're nearer to a force 4, perhaps in shelter around the southwest of England nearer to a force 3. Just keep an eye on that one though over the next day or so. The Irish Sea, we've got typically light and variable, coming round as southerly as the day goes on, at around a force 3 in shelter, maybe a little bit lower than that. Similar across the eastern counties of England, north from Norfolk, at pretty variable southerlies at around a force 3 or locally a little bit less. Stronger though across Scotland with those fronts in evidence here, as a southwesterly nearer to a force 6 or getting towards a force 7, where you're more exposed towards the northern and western Isles. Now for Monday, a cold front is making its way southeastwards across the country, introducing clouds, some outbreaks of showery rain, and most of this across the Irish Sea towards the northeastern side of England too, gradually slipping its way southwards, but it could be that the English Channel at the southwest and the southeast of England on the whole stays dry and pretty bright during the day, best of any sunshine early in the day and clouding over as that front approaches later on. Turning cooler towards the north with showers following into the northern and western Isles, and temperatures generally dropping then as we go into the early part of the week. Monday's winds are looking like this then. We've got mostly light and variable winds in the English Channel and the south of England, so anywhere really from the South Irish Sea down to around Norfolk, Suffolk southwards, typically variable at around a force 3 or may well even be down as low as a force 2 in shelter, gradually a bit further towards the north of Devon and Cornwall, getting around towards a westerly, perhaps nearer to a force 5 offshore, and similar North Norfolk, maybe nearer to a force 4 or force 5. Stronger winds though, a bit gusty as that front comes southwards, getting towards a force 6 in the Irish Sea, similar to for northeastern parts of England, and also across Scotland here, roughly westerlies at around a force 5 to a force 6 well offshore out towards the Western Isles. And by Tuesday then we've got that colder northerly flow across the country, so showers driving down from the north, some showers through the Irish Sea. A few bands of showers may increasingly start to form down these North Sea coasts as the day goes on during Tuesday. A few clusters of showers may get as far as the southwestern corner of England, a few as well just getting towards the southeast. It could be that central parts of the English Channel only see a scattering of showers and longer sunny spells during the day on Tuesday. No difficulty getting the exact details, but for Tuesday the winds are broadly north to northwesterlies at around force 6 towards force 7 around northwestern parts of Scotland, typically force 6 I think in the Irish Sea, force 5 to a force 6 offshore out towards the southwest, maybe a force 4 in shelter in the English Channel. Keep an eye on this one, quite gusty as showers come through, and similar for these eastern coastal regions, north to northwesterlies at a force 5, but just watch out for a few stronger gusts where the bands of showers are a bit more organised. And just looking towards midweek, Wednesday shows a ridge of high pressure building across the country. As always by this stage, timing becomes somewhat uncertain. We've got some showers I think still hanging on down these eastern coastal regions of England, a few showers then on that northerly flow, but most of the showers should fade away as that ridge builds in, and a drier, brighter day, although still feeling rather chilly. Just watch out though towards the west as these fronts move in, maybe that later on in the day these are starting to advance further into Ireland and looking like pushing their way further eastwards as we go in towards the latter part of the week. Now for Wednesday, the strongest of the winds are out towards the eastern side of the country, eastern England and the eastern side of the English Channel, at a force 6 or gusting force 7 out towards East Anglia, and a force 5 in the English Channel out around the Dover Strait as well. Force 4 out towards the west and nearer to a force 5 offshore, typically northerlies in the Irish Sea, but these probably coming down as the day goes on as that ridge builds in. So a few opportunities there for you for sailing this weekend, not looking too bad across many central and southern regions. A little bit gustier winds as we head into next week and still feeling rather cool as well. And that's your very latest for today. We'll have the latest update for you on Monday, looking ahead through next week and towards next weekend as well. Thank you for watching and bye for now.